Hello, my friends. It's your friend Kevin. Welcome to all of you. This is another Divine Daily Blast. All right, so we are using Oracle of the Fairies this week uh, for our card of the day. And this deck has been brought to you by Karen Kay, and a lovely British woman. We have Archangel Zadkiel, who's with us this week, as well as Rama and Sita there with us this week. But let me start off with the day. It's a number 7 angel numerology day. And that number 7 is talking about being focused. What are you focused on? And should you be focused on something else? What I want you to know is that you're on the right path. That's what the number 7 is talking about. Spiritual desires and plans being correct and beneficial, and your priorities in the right order. It's in the right order for a good life choices, good life plans, good life ideas, particularly when it comes to material matters such as your work and your workmates. All of these ideas and thoughts and feelings serve you well on a number 7 day. It's a day to really be focused on being charming, being a little studious, putting your scientific mind into play, and perhaps being somewhat meditative, focused on being a little introverted, which almost feels like a juxtaposition when it says being on the right path and being dynamic and moving. However, sometimes we have to go in order to show ourselves outward. So divine magic's afoot on a number 7 day, and doors of opportunity are favored to open for you. This works with the 7 of Cups, which is, in a way, when I see a picture of the 7 of Cups, I just see 7 cups equally filled, but the challenge being, which one do I choose when they're all equally filled? So work on the energy of the sun, the energy of the Chariot if you're into tarot. Also bring in the elements of Archangel Michael to turn the daggers that point towards you away from you, and Archangel Metatron to work on your timing elements. Now, the moon is in its first quarter and it's moved into the sign of Aries. So you may be feeling like jump today. You may have the jumping bean energy going on. However, let's see. Be careful, because the planet of Mercury, which is our communication planet, has a little bit of a problem with the planet of deception and disappointment, that being Neptune. Under this quarter moon, you may be feeling like someone might be acting a bit shady. Just trust your instincts. And remember the rule that every quarter moon is a good time to practice gratitude. And we have a quarter moon every single month. We have the new moon for about 5 to 7 days. Then we work into the first quarter moon again between 5 and 7 days. So after a week after the new moon, which is when you're wanting to bring things towards you, be grateful for what you're bringing towards you. That's the mode of today. Now, my isms. It's not what you show. It's how you show up. How are you showing up today? We've talked about being focused, and maybe that is the focus. How am I showing up? What mood am I in? What do I want to do with today's energy? And what is the energy? Being focused on the reality of things can really fine tune what happens next. Then you can work on the affirmation, I am effortlessly thriving and abundant. If you're not focusing on that, if you're not focusing on the power of it, where are you? I am magnificent, and I magnificently manifest my future in the right now. What does that word magnificent mean to you? What does it conjure up in your mind? What does it conjure up in your soul? What does it conjure up in your feelings? Because if you're not on that planet of magnificence, where are you? That's the focus. Sometimes we focus on the idea that someone else, the idea that other people, the idea. Now, I'm not saying that we have to be selfish. However, sometimes we have to be introspective. Here we go with the wonderful, wonderful affirmations from Worthy Book. Self-love is my birthright. That's a statement that's not untrue. Your birthright is to be able to choose self-love. And it really is a little challenging to the angels, to God, the Creator, to all that you have if you're not loving on yourself. It's a challenge. It's a bit like the angels, the Creator, the person that brought you here, or the energy that brought you here said, well, I'm giving you this lovely gift of life, and you're not really using it, or you're really not like, how can I say it? It's almost disrespectful to have a life and then to sort of abuse the privilege of it. I don't know whether I'm making any sense. The Archangel or the Angel Affirmation card today is from Archangel Haniel. I am the Archangel of Intuitive Gifts. Allow me to mentor you in embracing your psychic awareness. And it says, I completely trust in my intuition. I follow my guidance with excitement and with confidence. Here's what I want to say on a personal note. I have been struggling with sending out some communication, struggling with actually asking for something. And I had to break it down even further. Where is the struggle? Where is the challenge? Why do I feel that and it comes down to being feeling unworthy, feeling not good enough. It always traces back to that unworthiness. And so in order to get away from the tangle, because the person who we may be asking for help of can say yes and they can say no. Is it our expectation that we'll get a yes? Or is it our expectation that we'll get a flat out no? Either way, the challenge do you feel worthy, or do I feel worthy and magnificent of even asking to begin with? That's where the challenge is. And I look at others for examples of where someone else may be feeling, I'm going to ask for this, and I might be feeling, I don't know, they really deserve it. That is another element of the ego that gets in the way, that challenges saying, well, they're asking. You're not even asking. They're putting themselves forward. You're not even putting yourself forward. Sometimes we have these opportunities that pop up in our lives and we focus on what we're used to, the staying back behind the lines, the staying unworthy, the staying unseen, the staying in that safe space, when we really have to stretch a little more. So in my sharing this with you, I put myself out there and said, I am willing to share what it is that I find challenging and why I believe the challenge is there. And I'm now making a declaration that I will focus on releasing my challenges and releasing the barriers of worry, unworthiness, not good enough, in order to be magnificent. Rama and Sita are here this week. They are soulmates, and they're talking about connecting with romantic opportunities. That could be spending time with some friends and some loved ones. I happen to believe today it's about your self-love, the balance with your outer love and your inner love, the love of your higher self and the love of your physical self. Then we have Archangel Zadkiel. And Archangel Zadkiel is talking about your intentions to live a meaningful life. And where you are today, where you've come. Be the change that you're looking to seek by releasing the burdens that have caused you to feel trapped. Don't forget to be the light of healing. It's all up in this card. The activation prayer is, thank you, Zadkiel, for helping me change within myself first, before seeking change elsewhere. I feel like we are all in this mood of making these big changes. And the first 3 months of this particular year, whether it be summer energy in the southern hemisphere, winter energy in the northern hemisphere, it's an opportunity to come down to basics and build back up with what's working. I checked in with Gertrude and Beatrice this morning to see where they were because I love them. They are such bright lights, the fairies. And I have this fairy deck, Oracle of the Fairies by Karen Kay. And they showed me a lovely little bit. Oh, there's a card. They showed me a lovely little nook on the beach, a little bit like a cave in from the water's edge, protected. And it was almost like a cocoon, if you will, open on the front side. However, they built a lovely warm fire. And Beatrice is saying the warm fire is the light within your heart. The warm fire is the love within your heart. And the cocoon represents the shelter that's built up around you by Mother Nature. You can go to the mother. And this card they presented is the card of moderation. Now, what they're showing me is you can have it all. Because we see our fairy gladly sitting at her table with her 3 candles burning, and she's got her food on the table, but it's not overloaded with food. Let's see what else we've got on this symbol. I love the symbolisms. Flowers, things that make this lady feel good, things that make this fairy feel good. The question they're asking, is there something you know you shouldn't be eating? Try to eat mindfully and healthily, although the fairies say that a little bit of what you fancy is fine. A little bit of what you fancy does you good. Now, when it comes to being in moderation, we all have a tendency to overindulge. Now, I'm not talking about overindulging just in food, but overindulging in other things. Sometimes when we go within ourselves, that feels so cozy and warm that there is a tendency for those of us who may be very sensitive to stay there, to become comfortable in that space, to become a little bit reclusive. Nothing wrong with it, but use the reclusivity in moderation. I'm trying to think of an example when it would be a good time to recluse. A good time to recluse is the cocoon of winter. A good time to recluse is actually surrounding yourself with trustworthy people, with people that you know are not going to do you harm. That's a really good reclusive space to be in. That's also in moderation, as opposed to thinking that you have to be out there, that you have to be in front of thousands of people. That's not necessarily moderation. That's like, oh, I am the most important person in the world. You are to yourself. Let me see what Karen has to say about the moderation with this. Let's see if I can pick up any other little tidbits to pass on to you. I've got motivation. That's the next card. Well, no, it's not. Let's see. Where is... Remember that time I pulled up the angel deck and I had the wrong guidebook that went with the other fairy deck? It was hysterical because I couldn't understand why I wasn't finding the meaning of it. I wasn't meant to. That's the thing. All right. Let's see. This card draws your attention to diet and to how food you eat has a direct influence on your health. Perhaps you're consuming too much unhealthy food. Well, Gertrude, Beatrice, oh, okay, I'm thinking, well, what does this have to do with the food we're eating? Maybe because it's January and people are focusing on their diet. Perhaps there's some of you that are focusing on the fact that you may have gained a little weight over the holidays. Maybe you've overindulged in some sugars and some, but that doesn't play into, well, it does. It plays into being focused on your health. But I would say for me, it plays into focusing on the mental health, not so much the physical health. All right. I think I'm leaving that one alone for now. All right, my friends, that's it for me. Stay tuned. I'll be back tomorrow with another Daily Blast. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I thank you for liking, subscribing. Above all, your comments. Thanks so much. Bye for now.